Episode 191. Are these comics going to make good film and television shows? We have Void Rivals, and we have, which is part of the Energon universe, and we have the end of Silent Night with Batman and Santa Claus. Let's check them out right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game. I am your host, Frank Zanca. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. And yeah, we're going to talk about Void Rivals. But before that, you can see this is my fantasy novel here. I kind of want your guys' opinion. I was thinking about turning this into an audiobook. Let me know if you guys might be interested in having this on Audible. And then I'll, run a Kickstarter or something like that. But let me go if you guys are interested in the comments section. All right, so let's jump into Void Rivals. This is number 15. This is by Robert Kirkman, who created The Walking Dead. And again, this is part of the Energon universe, which connects Void Rivals, G.I. Joe, and Transformers together. We really haven't seen much G.I. Joe portion of this. I think that Pythor, or whatever the girl's name is, I think that's from G.I. Joe. Why they're in space, I have no idea. But anyway, so we get this really weird looking guy going to the ring. And the ring is divided by two different warring species. They think they're species, but then they end up finding out they're the same species. And we have Derek and Solona. I get that confused with the Sacrifices one, which is Saluna. So they're very, very close. And so anyway, she's going on a walkabout with his android. I started getting kind of into some sexual stuff with Android, but like, what if it was directed to do certain things for him? Oh, anyway, I won't go there. But anyway, so she's going to walk about finding Zerta, which is also what Springer was looking for, and Springer's a Transformer. And he went back home to deal with his dad, and then they had a Transformer coming in, which he said, no, don't blast out of the sky. I'll go meet it. And they ended up, he didn't know it was from Cybertron originally, but I think he had some kind of an inkling to see if it was an ally. But anyway, they come down, and that's where we're kind of at right now. But the Pythor chick here, I don't even know this woman's name. Gracula. Okay, easy for you to say. Anyway, she was kind of blasted by radiation when she was out working on the ship, and she's getting bumpied. And so she goes to talk to this guy, and she goes, keep a lookout on Gracula because she might be acting weird. She was radiated, and then we hear something, and I think that's the end of that. We never see that again. Oh, no, they hear a noise, and their ship is being taken by this other dude on the bottom, the snake guy. He's the weird thing because we get to see him for like 1 page per issue, and that's it. I can care what's going on there. But anyway, Hot Rod finally lands, and he says to all of the Derek says to all of the people, he says, keep your guns down. It's gonna surprise you about how tall he is once he transforms. So just keep it in your pants. And so he transforms, like, everybody's like, oh my God, he's huge. What is going on here? He's gonna kill us all. He's like, whoa, don't do it. And he's like, hi, I'm here to see my friend. Is my friend here? And he's like, and the king is like, I assure you, if we saw something like you, we would have known it. And then all of a sudden we have the helicopter come down, and Hot Rod's like, oh my God, there he is. And Derek's like, yeah, I didn't tell you everything, and that's kind of why I went up there, because if they were one of those, I was the only one that had any kind of interaction with these guys. So he's like, whoa, 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 do not fire, do not fire. So then we switch over to Solila, or however you say her name, who's falling, and the android is like, oh my god, we're falling, and if we splat, I'm not going to be able to put you back together like Humpty Dumpty. And she's like, don't worry, Zerta will provide. And she does. She goes into some kind of a, magnetic whatever where it stops her fall, and she just goes tippy-toed onto the ground, and she's like, the key will light the way, and she keeps going. In the last issue, she got mentally hooked up with Derek, and they were fighting. They fight like an old married couple. But anyway, so Springer's telling Hot Rod about his experiences and that he hadn't found Zerta yet, but there's a whole lot of evidence that she's here somewhere. And they also talked about the Energon, this could be a planet where they generate Energon, and Energon goes into their heads, where this is where the little gem is, and that they can do some kind of a trade route and stuff like that. So they're talking about, all the stuff that is being done with Energon, and this guy's telling him watch his father, which is the king. So anyway, there we go to this kid who's hooked up with Proximus, who was the bounty hunter sent off to kill them, and Derek doesn't know that his own father sent Proximus out, but Proximus is putting himself back together. He doesn't have any arms and legs in real life. He's just, an invalid. So everything is mechanical. So he's putting himself back together. And the kid's like, are you done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet? He's like, I'm going to kill you, kid. Shut the hell up. And again, that's all we get is like little 1-page, 2-page of little things. And then she puts the key into the thing, and she gets to talk to her balls. A ball. So the ball's like, I am Vector, whatever. I am Vector Theta, and before anything was, I was, and who reactivates me? She's like, it was me, I did it. Zap, and he's dead. No, I don't know what happens from this point on. Anyway, before we go any further, so far, I like that it's taking turns. After 15 issues, I have no idea what's going to happen at this point, and I'm glad it's not stagnant anyway. So there is that. But Boy Rivals is usually pretty good. I just wish that the story progressed a little bit faster, because I feel we're kind of just slowing down into spinning of the wheels kind of thing. But anyway, if you're a sci-fi fan, this is my graphic novel. It's 150 pages long, and it's kind of Star Wars, Star Trek, Guardians of the Galaxy kind of all combined. And it's based on my 4-book series, so it's also on Amazon. The first novel is also on Audible, and it's an adaptation of the first book as well. And then I also have those in digital. I have this one in digital also. So this is my Vampire Mob set in 1950s Hollywood. It is 48 pages, so it's a double issue. They are both double issues. I have issue 1 and issue 2, and the interior art is just as good as anything on the big 2. And this is the second issue. This is the Katana cover, so it's kind of True Blood meets The Godfather. Lords of L.A. Helene cover. This is issue 2. The Samurai cover. The Werepanther cover. I have this in nude version as well. And again, I have digital copies of all these. And you can see the Nosferatu in the back there. And since it takes place in the 50s, this is my Marilyn Monroe cover. So yeah, because she's in the book as well. And again, if you'd like a copy, let me know in the comments section. Or you can email me or whatever else. I do sign them if you want a hard copy. All right. Plus, we are hooked up with Moonstone Books, who is doing a new Green Hornet Anthology 50th Anniversary Edition. This is not it. This is just an example of what they've done in the past. It's going to be hardcover. It's going to be signed by various artists, writers. And one of the main writers is Timothy Zahn, who created Thrawn for Star Wars, as well as Kevin J. Anderson, who did Dune. He writes Dune novels, as well as he did some Star Wars stuff as well. Brandon Easton, who wrote for the Peggy Carter series that was on ABC. We just have a pile of sci-fi and fantasy writers on this thing. It's going to be amazing. Anyway, it's the art of the cover art is done by Matt Wagner, who created Grendel and did Batman covers, and I think he did a whole Batman. I think he did a Batman Grendel crossover too. But anyway, check out either greenhornetnoir.com or the description below has the link to Kickstarter about when we launch at the end of the month, and you'll get notified. So definitely check that out as well. All right, so let's jump into Silent Night. So this is the final issue. I guess it's going to be an annual thing now. So they did Batman, Santa Claus, Silent Night 1, and then this is Returns. So I don't know if this is going to be an annual thing. But the last one I thought was pretty good. We had Krampus as the villain. This one, not so much. This was not nearly as good. So if the last one was more like an 8, this one like a 4. This was like a below average book. And this one was 5 issues. And it's about some kind of a knight that puts a sigil there because he went where he shouldn't have gone and turned into like a zombie. Which he's connected to a castle, and they're trying to get into the castle, and they're all feeling all this dread from the thing that they're in, this area that they're in, and they're fighting giants, and we have Zatanna brought in 4 characters that could not be affected by the sigil. Maybe it was just 3, that's right, 3. Mary Marvel, the Demon, Edrican, and then Metamorpho. Now, again, I really wish that they would stop doing Mara in the costume from the movies. It doesn't work, man. Just give her in her green thing. It works just fine. And why is Nubia there? No clue. She should be ruling Themyscira. She should not be on a mission. So we should have had Wonder Woman in there instead. But anyway, so they're all feeling this dread of everything that's going on because they're like, oh, this is like their worst fears. And Damien's like, Daddy, Daddy. And Zatanna is performing for the only person in the room, which is her dad. And meanwhile, you can see the sigil on the shoulder of, I don't know who that is. That's the daughter of Wally West. That's pretty much all I don't know her name. Thunderheart or something to that effect. But anyway, she saw that her dad was encased in amber, and he was like a zombie, and she's like, oh my God, Daddy's dead, Daddy's dead. Meanwhile, we have this whole fight going on, and there's the knight on the bottom there. Or is that a knight, or is that the knight? I can't tell. But anyway, the Yetis come in to help. We are Yeti, we hear us roar, because they blew the horn or whatever else, and they're like, oh my God. And the elf chick is Mrs. Claus, which I thought was interesting, but I'm like, oh my God, how many elves has Santa taken? Does he have a harem? Is he a Mormon? I don't know. But anyway, they grab Thunderheart there or whatever to get her from doing something stupid. Santa's carrying her around, and now that all the smoke is cleared, they can now go into the castle. But they end up going through this whole swampy thing, and the thing, he says, "You want water? Here's your water." and this frog statue comes out of the water, and it's like the Sphinx, so you have to answer a riddle. And of course, Batman knows the answer, but we haven't got there yet. We saw this battle going on with Etrigan, and they said, oh my God, Etrigan, you can burn off the sigil, so we can have these big monsters stop attacking us. So she flies him, Mary Marvel flies him around, knocking the sigils off people. Then we go back to the frog. And he's like, what's in the gift box? And Batman's like, wait, don't say anything. It's already giving us the answer. The answer is whatever we put in it. Oh, you're so smart. And he's like, Robin's like, that's my dad. So now they run back up to the castle to try to stop the connection that the knight has with it. And then we have... oh, God. This is where it gets really stupid. We have Jason, whatever the guy's name is, that is Etrigan, but it was not is in human form. And not Jason Blood, is it Jason Blood? I don't remember. But anyway, he says, "Where'd you get the armor?" And it's Metamorpho is the armor. And he's like winking. He's like, "I'm the armor." It's bad. It's bad. So anyway, so we have they force him into the castle, which ends up breaking the spell. He's like, "No, don't push me in there. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, you did it." So we get this weird looking page of all these things going on with this voiceover. And then Flash comes back and she's like, "Daddy!" And Mrs. Claus is like, "Yes, we did it! And you're all invited back to our house for a big feast. Except you are dinner." No, he doesn't say that. But anyway, they go through the portal and they get to meet some weird other thing, dwarf-looking thing. And then, you know, he gives them gifts with his big muscular arms out. Whatever, man. Whatever. And he's like, "Look, I got you a new thing, a new hoodie." And they made him an honorary member of the JLA. And that's the end. Wow. Stay off the crack, bro. Who is this? Layman? Parker, something Parker. I forgot who wrote this thing. Anyway, I really don't care. But when this comes up next year, I probably won't be getting it. It's got to be... Somebody's got to tell me it's really good for me to pick up 5 concurrent issues. So anyway, let's make a good film or television show. No, it doesn't even make a good comic, man. It's just silly. And which is silly is okay as long as it's fun. I didn't even find this fun. Not like it was last time. And then we have Void Rivals. Yeah, I think this would make a good movie. But it would have to be compacted. If they were gonna do a movie with this, they would have to, I guess, do a Transformers movie. They would have to just like Marvel did. They have to do a G.I. Joe movie, and then they have to do a Void Rivals movie, and then they have to have them all combined. That's what they'd have to do. But the problem with this is it doesn't end. So Void Rivals all connected here without us having really any closure to even one storyline. The storyline is still going after a year and going on 2 years now, year and a half. So, you know, that's my problem with it. It's not giving us any closure whatsoever. It's a soap opera. It just keeps going and going and going and going. And that's why it's going to have an ending. I can't imagine this, you know, not having a storyline. Even The Walking Dead had a villain that finished up, but here we don't have any of that. So it's weird. All right, well, that's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you watching all the way through if you did. And give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. If you can subscribe, please do. I put out videos pretty much daily. At least until I get back to going on set. But yeah, I enjoy talking about comics, and hopefully you guys do as well as films and all that stuff as well. All right, Happy New Year to everyone. And remember too that we're going to be launching the new Green Hornet anthology at the end of the month. So go to greenhornetnoir.com and get signed up for that right now. All right, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.